I know you felt it tonight. That, my friends, was football weather. Just a little chill in the air, maybe the need to break out a sweatshirt, get yourself a hot chocolate from the concession stand. Oh, was it perfection. This is the type of night you dreamt about when the previous football season ended. You couldn't ask for a better evening, and I couldn't ask for better people to spend it with, watching the best high school highlights from around the area. So let's roll and start with a few schools who made their 2025 season debuts tonight. Up first, Shiloh Christian. The Saints taking on Little Rock Christian. Shiloh already up 15-3 in the first, but you know about Saints in marching because they're doing it again. Cole Creighton to Chandler Kemp, and he's telling everyone at the end of this play after he breaks some tackles, makes some moves, exactly where they're going into the end zone, because goal line, they're breaking out the Wild Saint, Griffin Mason. Football's a contact sport. He's like Burger King. He's got that drive-through, and the team is having it their way, 23-3, and that continues on their next drive. I know it's fall, but Creighton's hitting the beach. Cohen Beach making waves with the big play, but the Warriors bend don't break. They get the stop and then drive to get 7 of their own. Kemp Keeler to Pierre Pickens for that touchdown. But Shiloh rolling in this one, 44-13, they get the win. Well, West Fork also hitting the field for the first time in 25, hosting Green Forest. But Gabe Cerna, oh, you thought this story was going to start happy? Nah, fam, hold this 7, Tigers go on top. Other Tigers now getting the ball. Carson Jones the pass, and show me the PhD because he's a spin doctor. Ethan Watts, a jewel of a catch. But Green Forest gets it back, and there's only one maybe here. Hadley maybe. He's got the keeper. However, West puts a fork in that drive to get the ball back, and you know what time it is. He ain't an alarm, but he's still going off. On the other end, it's Watts again. He's just showing off now. Stop that. But it would not be enough to get the win tonight. Green Forest spoils the opener 28-6. Let's take it out of Pea Ridge for their home opener, taking on Gentry, and it starts out well for the Blackhawks as Gentry QB Talon Williams drops back to pass. He's looking, firing deep. Oh, but he's found the wrong color. Connor Acosta, interception. And the Blackhawks are in business. Later on, Pea Ridge ball, QB Hudson White. Let's see what he's got. He's going to be looking, and he's going to put it on the money like Ben Franklin for a big gain. However, nothing would come of it. But how about this throw again? QB's putting on a clinic tonight, dropping back, and that's some air miles on that one. Good catch. Oh, give him the top. Come on, too tall. But the Gentry defense would hold as they come out on top in a low, and I mean low score, 7-3, Pea Ridge win. Let's stay in the 5A as the Farmington Cardinals went up 2 classes to take on the Harbor Wildcats on the second play of the game. How about this? Aiden Lester rolls out, finding Dawson Keaton wide open, and he's going to take it all the way for an opening drive touchdown. Good Cards, they're up 7 later in the first. Now Harbor QB Bryce Owens, what you got? Quickly gets it out to his man, but Kingston, London bridges, but he strips it away and Farmington falls on it. Lester, he'd do the rest on the next drive, keeps the read option, and no one is gonna be able to catch him as he walks in untouched, reading at a high level there. However, it's Harbor that pulls off the comeback and walks away the victors, topping the Cards 35-21. And so with that, the first group of games are in the books, but you should know by now we are far from done. We'll keep this Friday night party going after the break, but first, more scores from around the area set to the soundtrack of Friday nights. The band, this one, coming to you courtesy of the Springdale Bulldogs. Welcome back into the second FFN of the season. I gotta say, it's already a contender for maybe the best Friday night of the year. The weather was perfect, the vibes immaculate, and the lights just seemed to shine a little brighter tonight because the games were great. Don't believe me? Just watch. Here we go. Back into the fray. We now got to Fayetteville, where they hosted the Broken Arrow Tigers out of Tulsa. This one a pretty low score, 3-0 at the half, but BA changed that real quick as the KUB snake it in from the 2-yard line, and he makes it through 7-3. Broken Arrow. But the opposing kickoff comes, and Kenyon Johnson breaks free and is drugged down out of bounds after he racks up some miles on the car, the engine revving, and maybe so are the Purple Dogs inside the 35-yard line. Johnson again from his QB, Hank Hendricks, and Fayetteville going to regain the lead 10-7. Might have some electricity problems there, and the Dogs defense, though, boy, they're lighting it up. Spence Palladino gets the sack, and the defense standing tall as the Bulldogs squeeze out a tight one. Topping them boys from Oklahoma. No love here either. 18-17. Staying in 7A, Bentonville hosted Conway. Intro of the season. The Tiger riding in on the motorcycle. How about that? But it was the visitors. The Wampus Cats revving early, forcing the fumble, but Butter on the ball. No one can seem to get it until finally it's secured, but not after quite the struggle. Next Tigers possession is where we're going to jump to, though. Cole Slepecki putting it up high into the altitude. How's this for frequent flyer miles? And he's diming it to his receiver 50 yards down the field. 7 points. How's that for a play? And it is Bentonville. Boy, they just dominated in this one. 41-17. Next highlight. In the Battle of the Bone last week, Van Buren finds themselves in another this week in Springdale's house. But their first possession is pointing in the wrong direction. Easton Hahn putting it in reverse Terry. Defensive fireworks early, forcing a punt. Ensuing Bulldogs drive now. This play sponsored by Chevy, because you could drive a truck through that hole. Rancel Oriana, foot meet gas pedal. Gone, untouched, 57 yards to the doghouse. But the Pointers would answer. Tristan Ray going to swing it to Austin Riggs on the bubble screen. And, okay, he's got that goodbye type of speed. QB's best friend making the stat line look real good. He's got the equalizer in this one, an offensive heavyweight battle at the end. But the Bulldogs land the knockout blow. They win by 11. Let's head over to Alma, their rival. They took on Salem, and it's the Panthers that get the big gain as Ryan Estacio gets the screen and takes off down the sidelines. Tightrope act for the big gain near the 50. However, Alma going to get the ball back, and Dallas Perkins takes the handoff, finds a crease, and he's got himself a nice gain of 20 yards. Alma on the goal line now, a little later in the drive, and QB Samuel Schlegel tries to punch it in, but he's stopped on the goal line. But you know what they say, if you don't succeed, try again, or just break out a play from the Eagles playbook. He finds himself in the end zone. Schlegel finishing the job, punching it in, and it's Alma that walks away on top, taking down Salem 29-22. Greenwood breaks ground with the carry from Cooper Webb in their matchup against Northside. Quarterback Kane Archer deciding to throw this one, though. Little gainer there, and we've got some momentum. Archer dropping back, scrambling, trying to find somebody. He's got some open room. I think he's just going to decide to do it himself. He is. He says, I'm the man for the job, and you know what? Weaving, making people miss. Get off me. Oh, my gosh. This is why he's a 5-star recruit. Get in the end zone. That's got to be in our Yarnell's top plays of the week. I'm just saying, wouldn't be surprised to see it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Greenwood Bulldogs. This one was just all the big G tonight as you watch another tough run up the middle. Boy, this one, not even close, 61-14. Greenwood taking down Northside. All right, and with that, we have reached our second break of the evening. More scores from around the area, followed by, you guessed it, our game of the week. But Bentonville Band, play us out to the commercials, would you? Well, welcome back. You know, we saved the best for last, our game of the week. Now, for the second week in a row, it is a rivalry, and we find it in the heart of hillbilly country. Ozark hosting Boonville. Now, the Bearcats have won the last 5 meetings in a row, but the Hillbillies are believing that it's their year after a blowout win last week against Clarksville. So, which will it be? Will history repeat itself, or do we have a new winner in the rivalry? Well, as we know, history will be written by the winner. Let's find out who gets this chapter. We start in the first quarter. Boonville ball in the red zone. Brody Chambers gets the handoff and takes it up the gut, and will get brought down at the 1. And then quarterback Taden Washburn, yeah, you already knew, finishing it up as the Bearcats strike first. Second quarter now, Ozark ball, and Easton Fox gets things going down the sidelines, cuts it inside, and eventually he's going to find himself in the end zone in the paint as the Hillbillies now fire back. Moving on ahead, Cade Cap, no cap with the keeper, and he's going to take it all the way in for another Ozark touchdown. Oh my, could it be? That'll give the ball to Boonville, though, and they take advantage. Connor Dromer gets the toss and will get around, get into the end zone after the extra point. It's tied. Now with time expiring, Ozark uses one last timeout, 1 second on the clock. John Skolarski gets the handoff and weaves himself through. Are you kidding me? And he is able to get to the outside, down the sideline, into the end zone, and Ozark takes the lead. My goodness, they've got it at the half, and they would take it to the end. They top their rival, breaking the streak 34-27. And for more on this one, 5 News Sports reporter Robin Hearn, she's at the game, and she's got the scoop.
Yeah, Alex, it's been 5 seasons since Ozark has taken down Boonville in this rivalry game. But tonight, they're in a new era with Josh Watson at the helm. And today, they had what they needed to face off against the Bearcats' physicality. Now, while Boonville was looking to put last week behind them, a fumble recovery and striking first did just that. But with the legs of Easton Fox and Caden Cap, the Hillbillies had what they needed to take control in the second quarter and eventually use that last second in the half to give them plenty of momentum into the second half. And that is where they kept on scoring. Boonville did eventually find the end zone, but it wasn't a match for this ground and pound Ozark offense and that physical defense. Ozark heads on the road for the first time this season to take on Charleston and hope to keep on with their winning ways, while Boonville still looking to get into that win column. They will take on Paris next week. In Ozark, Robin Hearn, 5 News Sports.
Thank you, Robin. What a game that was. And you know what? We love football so much, we got a little bit of overtime. So if you were just getting back from your games, we're going to have the first couple highlights back up for you. So let's restart it and show you what you might have missed. Here we go. We are starting with Shiloh Christian. They're hitting the field for the first time this year. They're going to be taking on Little Rock Christian. Now, as soon as we pop these up, come on now, here we go. Let's give the people what they want. Yeah, you know what it is. Shiloh Christian getting the ball. Quarterback dropping back the pass, going to find his man. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to turn up the sideline, say, you can't catch me, weave inside, and then it's just big boy ball. He gets dragged down. He says, you know where we're going, and look at this. The Wild Saint, direct snap, and hey, football's a contact sport, in case you didn't know. That's going to be a touchdown, and Shiloh going to be looking for more, rolling out and just dropping dimes like a bankroll. Oh my goodness, on the money. Rolling all the way down, finally brought down. But you know what? Little Rock Christian stopping them and getting 7 of their own right here. Great play. And that's going to be a touchdown, although it's going to be Shiloh that pulls away for the win in this one. They're going to win it pretty big as well. All right, moving on to our next highlight package. We have got Green Forest against West Fork. Early on, up the middle, Green Forest touchdown. They're going to take the lead 7-0. So, can West Fork answer? The boys in black looking for something. You spin me right round, baby, right round. How about that catch? Spin doctor, but they can't do anything with it. So it's back to Green Forest, their ball. Gonna roll out to the left, finally, ooh, lays the boom, but how about that? He's gonna find himself in enemy territory, but West Fork gonna get the ball back, and another just beautiful pass for you. And brought down, double coverage, you can't stop me. Beautiful play. But unfortunately, West Fork unable to get the win in this one. Their season debut is spoiled. All right, if you want all the highlights fully for you, we'll have them on our YouTube page as well as our 5 News Plus app. We'll keep on streaming, but you know what it is. We'll be back here live next Friday. I hope to see you for another fantastic Football Friday night together. See y'all then.